Hey Luciana, Daphne here. How are you? Really good to hear from you again. Well done, keeping going, writing your essays. You're doing brilliantly, making great progress. And well done, just finding the time to do it, because I know it takes a long time just to sit down and find a quiet moment to study. So this is a great task. University students nowadays have too much freedom and do not study enough. This is the kind of conversation I have with my children quite often, actually. To what extent do you agree and disagree? Here we go. Never before have universities been more relaxed in terms of student schedules and the number of hours inside class. Although some commentators claim this trend may have adverse effects, such as harming their commitment with the academy, others are convinced that this is the logical approach to students living in an ever-changing society. Present essay will support the latter perspective with arguments. Excellent. With maybe just an adjective in here, relevant and topical. Or another lovely word, pertinent. Topical, sorry. If you're not familiar with those words, just write them down. Topical, pertinent, really nice high-level words. Yeah. Never before have universities been more relaxed. Now, are we talking all universities or just universities in the West? Because it could be a very different picture in Asia. So I might just say Western universities, just because I know that's true. For Asia, I don't know. I don't know if I could go global or worldwide. Been more relaxed in terms of student schedules and the number of hours inside class, although some commentators claim this trend may have adverse effects on their commitment to, now you're committed to something, to the academy. Others are convinced they're logical. Yeah, lovely. Okay, so just that little pronoun there. Preposition, I mean, sorry, there. Good, nice intro. In opposition to the long hours under confinement, in order to receive the maximum quantity of information, universities have increasingly adopted. Your adverb needs to go there. Splits the verb. Have increasingly adopted the scientific-based method of providing students with more spare time. So scientific, not scientifical. In opposition to long hours under confinement. Now, do you mean confinement, COVID confinement? Or do you mean strict school education? You might need to just explain that to me. Because if you mean compared to school, or in opposition or in contrast to. No, in opposition is okay. So you could have, in opposition to the long hours of strict school education, and then connected together, and in order to receive maximum quantity of information, universities increasingly adopted the scientific-based method of providing students with more spare time. Good. Contrasting with the idea that hours outside class are unproductive, this glimpse of freedom serves the purpose of allowing students to have sufficient time to, I think you need to put in here research, because they need to research first, then assimilate, then solidify the knowledge recently acquired. Good. Really nice, beautiful writing. Seriously good. Moreover, when having a gap between classes, many academics use this. So specifically go for the pronoun this to retrieve what's been taught, and by discussing the content with their counterparts, they enhance their knowledge. Good. For example, the existence of study groups, which play a crucial role in university students' lives, could be hampered if there would not be, now, if there were not. So it could be hampered. So this is your modal, this is your modal part of the conditional. This needs to be your past tense. If there were not a relaxed agenda. So this is on your conditional, second conditional, you've got your modal structure here, and here this needs to be your past simple. If there were not such a relaxed agenda, if there were not. So be discipline, you don't need that. Such a relaxed agenda. Very nice argument. Very nice argument. Additionally, although schedules now are less strict, the assertion that students would be losing interest in their studies is equivocated. Unequivalent. Unequivalent spelling. Unequivocal. I think this is the word you want. Okay? Is unequivocal since it does not take into account students' backgrounds. Okay? I'm pretty sure this is what you want. I may be completely wrong, but I think this is the word you want. This is because by the time they reach tertiary education, which is not an easy path, they are provided with. Now, let's mix up the tenses. They have been provided, so we've got a passive, present perfect passive, this is better, have been provided with study habits and commitment needed to excel in uni, comma, without being constantly tutored. This is what you hope. Sadly, I don't think this is true, certainly not in the UK. This is not true at all. More and more students are going to university and have no idea how to study. School is not good enough. But I hope where you are, it is better. But this is so, really neat argument and very clean. I really like what you're writing. For example, if a professor indicated one specific content for them to read, what is expected to read, comma here, what is expected, comma, is that for having maturity, rather than for having maturity, for having learned maturity, or by having a more mature attitude. Yeah, they would follow this lead. Okay? By having more, and I would specifically say this lead because you're referring back to something you've just mentioned here. Even though educational institutions ought to supervise students, they're also responsible for installing accountability, in this case by allowing them to have and use and wisely use. So here you need the adverb before your verb. Their free time. Really nice. This is a great sentence. I love it. And also this using this even though here is fantastic. You are on form. Yeah, this is really, really good. Take your exam soon, please. In conclusion, I'm firmly convinced that unless flexible schedules are endorsed and applied in universities, students have not only significant, you're being specific here, likelihood of lacking enough time to absorb all the information available, but they might not be valued as individuals who are entitled to either to a higher education course, entitled to embark on a higher education, and then I would move course to here. Okay? And I really wish this were true for all students. I fear the social life is what fills in the time when students should be studying. Certainly in the first year. After that, I think it's obviously different. But lovely. I mean, so good. Really, really, really good work. And staying on the same kind of idea, enrollment at Stratford College. Okay, bar chart highlights the number of students who, so preposition who, with students who were enrolled in Stratford College and University during the year 2017. In general, although wide disparities were witnessed excellent across the months, by July, college and uni had similar figures. Moreover, while January accounted for the smallest quantity of students in both categories, November saw the highest. Good, very nice. Looking at the details, approximately 75 enrolled in college by the beginning of the year. You could have had enrolled, which would be quite nice, going into a past perfect there, because you're talking about something in the past before this, also in the past. Had enrolled by the beginning of the year. During the first semester, figures remained higher than the original, counting for 120. Yeah. However, although the number in July was above 100, it preceded a sharp fall in the subsequent month, which counted for almost 70. Maybe in which almost 70 were registered. Were registered. You could just mix that up, putting it in which instead of which. Okay, register. Okay. Additionally, the peak was reached in November, just before dropping 2. However, additionally seems a bit strange in a task 1. You could write furthermore. Additionally, maybe it's better for the task 2, but I'm only being really fussy because I know you're so good. But okay, so well done. You're comparing and you're guiding me through it. It's grouping the data is great. Regarding the enrollments in university, the figure for January was approximately 18, which is inferior to all other months. February witnessed numbers more than tripled, numbers which more than tripled to just under 75. Going down, you could have decreasing or slowing, would be quite good, to 35, or falling rapidly really to 35 in April, rising again in July with 100. Such a number was only surpassed in November, more than 130 people enrolled, whereas the data for December was marginally less at 80. Good work. How are you doing on timing? Are you okay on your roughly 20 minutes, roughly 40 minutes for the other ones? This is super. Really, really happy with this. You've done a very high quality answer in here. It reads well. Your coherence is absolutely fantastic. And I love how you're getting in some good grammar as well. So keep on going. Really, really nice work. Well done.